Hello. All right, good evening, all parents and students. All right, welcome to tonight's webinar. I'm Teacher James. Okay, so tonight I'll be hosting you and have a number of questions that we're prepared, to share with everyone. Okay, great to see all of you, and I can also see a number of familiar names. Okay, thanks for joining us. Yes, thank you. Thanks for the greeting. Okay, yeah, today is Happy Teachers Day. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so I see a number of familiar names. Those of you who actually had a chance to join us in our previous webinar on Power Code, right? So I'm glad to see many of you are here tonight as well as some of you who actually join us tonight. I see some new names as well. Okay, now, yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Yeah, thanks for all the nice greeting. Okay, now, tonight, before I start off, okay, I just want to maybe have just a quick check because from now until the exam is getting closer and closer. And many of you all will have also finished your prelim and are now busy preparing, right? Especially the upcoming 1 week. Next week, you have a 1 week holiday. And that is a good time for you to do, further catch up in your preparation. Now, before I start, can I just have a quick understanding for many of you here tonight? What is your AL score for math for your prelim? Okay, you all can just type into your chat. Wow, okay. Thank you very much for the response. Okay, so I can see that it's really quite a wide range. I can see really a wide range. I got a very good student who score very well, and also the student who probably want to improve a bit more during this holiday. Some of you who didn't do so well. Okay, so it's going to be a very wide range audience tonight. So it's okay, not to worry. What I want to go through tonight is really to help everybody. Okay, for those of you who do well, I'm quite sure that some of the things that I'm going to highlight is going to be helpful for you as well. And of course, for those of you who didn't do so well, as I go through later on, I will explain how you should go about analyze the question, how to go about solve some of those questions. And tonight, the question that we are going to focus on is what we call trending examination questions. Now, these are questions that are actually going to be the question type are those that is likely to happen over the past few years. Okay, so over the past few years, actually we analyzed and went through quite a number of all these past paper from the school as well. Okay, all the prelims, and actually we pick out some of those key trend and those questions that is a question type that is likely to quite popular over these recent years. And we have actually selected shortlisted some those that we selected those question type typically where most students actually face some challenges. Okay, so you may be strong and good in a certain question type, but what we have tried to do is that we actually pick up those that is whereby we notice, from our, interaction with our student, we notice those question type are those that usually most of them have some difficulty. So that's what we have prepared. Okay, so I hope every one of you had a chance to download the material. Okay, so when you register, you would have gotten the material as well. So how many of you have a chance to try the paper? A quick indication. Okay, those of you who have tried, you can let me know. If you haven't tried, also can let me know. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, also quite a mixed response. So a number of y'all had already tried, but also about half, about 50% didn't seem to have also tried. Okay, but no worry. Okay, those of you who haven't tried, it's fine. Okay, what I will want to do tonight is to actually work it through with everybody together. So as I go through, you can do it together with me, and then you can learn along the way. So you will have some hands-on practice as well, and I will guide you along. Okay, so don't worry. For those of you who haven't tried, no worry. You will work together with me. Okay, you can do together with me. Okay. Now I'm going to start off with the first question. Okay. Okay, let me just pull out my screen. Okay, all students, you can see my screen here. Okay, so this will be the set of material that you have. Okay, so let's look at the first question. Now, the first question, we actually has shortlisted this type of question, what we call logical reasoning. Okay, now logical reasoning is a type of question whereby you will have those like whether is it true, is it false, or is it not possible to tell, right? So these are the logical reasoning. So for such question, a lot of time when students attempt such questions, sometimes they don't understand, or they understand but they do not really know how to approach a question. So sometimes students will just make some so-called logical guess, right? I notice some students do that. Now, for this kind of question, right, you may see that the question is just asking you for true, false, and not possible to tell. Now, I must say that for such question, it's not completely, it's not like everything just based on thinking in your mind, okay? Actually, it involves calculation as well, okay? A lot of time it involves calculation. Okay, I noticed a lot of students, they don't really do calculation when it comes to such question. They will just think through, okay? But please don't do that, okay? Because many of these questions do require you to do some calculation to support your reasoning, okay, and to support your analysis. So we have actually prepared two such questions tonight. So I'm going to go through this first one, okay? So maybe we can do this together since there's a number of you who maybe have not had a chance to try the paper. So let's do this question. Now, in this question here, you have this dartboard, okay? I'm sure many of you all may have tried playing this game before, right? This dartboard, playing darts. So with 4 darts, this person, Jack, has to obtain at least 55 points, 55 points in order to qualify. So some information that you read the question, you must take note, okay? So there are actually altogether 4 darts, 4 darts. And with the 4 darts, the person must score 55 points in order to qualify for the next round. So Jack had the first 2 throws, and the score is 1 and 5. Okay, so we are going to look at the 2 statements here and see whether is it true, false, or not possible to tell. Okay, let's look at the first statement. Now, can everyone take a quick look now? Okay, now that you understand the question. Now, for the first statement, how many of y'all think it's true, false, or not possible to tell? Okay, you can just quickly put into the chat. Okay. All right. I think thank you. Thanks for the response. I still see different answer. Although majority did give me the right answer, okay, but I still see some different answer. Wow, somebody tell me false and true. Cannot be false and true, okay? Please do not tick both. You can only tick one box, okay? Don't give 2 boxes. You put 2 ticks, doesn't increase your chance of getting it right, okay? Yeah, even if one of tick is right, the other one you tick, so you end up wrong. Examiner won't give you the marks. Okay, can. Okay, can, no problem. Okay, I see. Okay, majority of you all got it correct. Okay, except for a small handful who give me slightly different answer. Okay, let me explain this so as to benefit everybody. Now, altogether 4 darts. You want to know the 2 remaining darts, does it help you to qualify? To qualify, you need at least 55. Okay, the word at least means 55 or more. Okay, if you hit 55, yes, you qualify. Okay, and the statement over here, a lot of time also depend on the statement. How does the statement is being phrased? Okay, so the statement here says that can never qualify. So never very strong word. It means no chance the person can qualify. Okay, it means that. Now, is it really totally no chance? Okay, now the first 2 darts is 1 and 5, so total got 6 points. So if you look at here, a quick analysis, you will see that if the next 2 shot, the person got 25 and 25. Okay, so you can just do a simple mathematical calculation. All right, 1 plus 5. You plus another 25 and another 25. So clearly, you're going to get a score of 56. Okay, so it's possible that the person can qualify. So this statement is therefore not true, right? So it's a false. So very good, okay? Majority of you can give me this answer. Okay, well done. Now, let's take a look at the second statement. Okay. The second statement is a little bit more tricky. The first statement is still quite straightforward. Okay, so as you can see, many of you got it correct, except only a small handful. Now, how about the second statement? Total number of points Jack obtained can be a multiple of 6. Okay. Now, what do you all think? Okay. Okay, I see many of you all has already started to put in your answer. Okay, this time around, I get a bit more varied answer. Okay. All three answers, I'm receiving them. True, false, not possible to tell. Okay. Okay. Quite a number of you all did say not possible to tell. Okay. All right. Okay. And thanks very much for all the responses. Now, okay, thank you for the participation. Okay, good to try. Okay, everybody, try this question and we can do this together. Okay, now, okay, so the second question is indeed more tricky. So that's why the response is also a lot more varied compared to the first statement. Now, for those of you who actually answered incorrectly, okay, let me explain. Now, in this question here, let us understand the statement carefully. Okay, because a lot of time, whether is it true or false, also depend on how the statement is being phrased. So for such logical reasoning, you must really not only pick up all the information that's given in the question, but also to be very careful with how the statement is being phrased. The statement here say that the total point obtained can be a multiple of 6. Okay, the word can be means what? So long as one of the option is a multiple of 6, that means it will satisfy that condition. Okay, so I can see a lot of reasons. Okay, the answer for this question should be okay, let me put it down first. It should be a true. Okay, so congratulations to all those of you who get it correct. But I can see from the response, quite a number of you didn't get it correct. Okay, because I see a number of not possible to tell, and also a smaller number of false. Okay, now let me explain this to those of you who actually didn't get it right, which is also quite a significant percentage among the many participants that we have tonight. Okay, now if you look at this statement, second statement, it can be a multiple of 6. Now, I know many of you, I know why you choose not possible to tell, and even some of them say false. Because as you compute the computation, you will find that there will be some computation whereby the total score is not a multiple of 6. Okay, which is quite possible. All right. So for example, you can have combination like 25, 10, and 5. So that will be 40, right? And then if you have one more, it's a 1, that becomes 41. So 41, for example, this is one example. Clearly, it is not a multiple of 6. Okay, but the question says that the total score obtained can be a multiple of 6. So you need to find, is there a possible combination whereby you have a total score of multiple of 6? Then you will satisfy this condition. So in this case here, for the second part, okay, if you have, okay, so I just write down for, this one is for statement 1. All right, statement 1. Okay, now I'm going to write here the working for statement 2. Okay, statement 2. Now for statement 2, you will notice that if you use this combination, okay, 1 plus 5 plus 5, and then you plus the 25. Now this combination, it will give you a score of 36. Now 36 is the multiple of 6. Okay, so this actually will satisfy the condition, right? So the total score obtained can be a multiple of 6, okay, which is supported by this. Okay, okay, but of course, if you choose some other combination, like for example, 1 plus 5 plus 10 plus 25, for example. Okay, some of you may consider this, right? If you try out all the different possible combinations with the 4 dots. So of course, in this case here, you will have 41, okay, in this case. So this one is not a multiple of 6, okay, but this one, yes, is, okay. So you just need to find out whether can you able to get a multiple of 6. If you can, just one will be sufficient, right? Just one option is sufficient. So therefore, answer should be true. Okay, I hope that's clear to everyone. Okay, many of y'all get confused is because you find that there are other combinations that wouldn't get you the multiple of 6. Okay, yeah, there are many possible combinations. That some of y'all actually came up with others as well. Like for example, 1 plus 5 plus 1, then plus 5. So you give it a 12. So that is also multiple of 6. Okay, yeah. So there's a few other possible combination. Okay, so yeah, I think many of you who didn't say who give me the answer that it's not possible to tell, I think it's probably because you notice that actually there is a situation whereby you don't get actually this multiple of 6 in those combinations. So therefore you think that it is not correct. Okay, yeah. Okay, so okay, I hope that clarifies. So that is the kind of logical reasoning question that you have more practice, and my tips to you is that not only must you read the information in the question very carefully, but also read the statement very carefully. And the last thing I want to stress is that for this kind of work question, you do need calculation. Okay, you do need calculation. It's not just like thinking only in your head. Okay, okay, so that's for this first question. Now, I hope everyone, those of you who didn't get it correct, you have a chance to already take a screenshot of this. All right. Okay, so that we don't need to, later on have to go back to past question. So everyone okay? Okay, with that, then I'm going to move on to the next question. Okay, all right. Now, let me move on to the next question. Now, the second logical reasoning question. Okay, let's take a look at this. Now, in this table here, now this is a very another kind of trending question that you would probably have seen this type of question before, right? If you have been doing some of the past paper from different schools. Okay, so this is one type of question that is also fairly popular, okay, over the recent years. Okay, whereby you have some part of the data is hidden from you. Okay, and you are supposed to use logical reasoning to answer the question. So let's look at this question here. You've got this table showing the number of basketball shots by each of the basketball player. And then part of the table is actually covered. Okay, so there were 8 players. So important, total you got 8 players. Okay, so let's not forget that. Okay, you got 8 players who made at least 3 shots. Okay, at least 3 shots. So at least 3 shots means 3, it can be 3, can be 4, can be 5, and so on, right? And at least 2 players. Okay, at least 2 players made 4 shots. Okay, now no one made more than 5 shots. Okay, so that's fine. So that means this data here we know is complete. So that nobody had 5 or more shots. So therefore the data here show only up to 5. Okay, so we are going to use this information to look at the 2 statements here. Okay, now this question here is slightly less straightforward than the previous one. Okay, so let's look at the first one, the first statement. Now, based on what is given here, now the number of players who made 5 shots is more than the number of players who made 3 shots. Okay, now the question gave us is at least. So at least means that it can be 2 players, can be 3, can be 4, and so on, right? So we do not know how many players, but minimally 2, okay, made 4 shots. Okay, so for statement number 1, whether is it true, false, or not possible to tell. Okay, can I take a look at your response? Okay, wow, some of you are very confident with answer. You stress very hard on the answer when you post it to me. Okay, now let me take a look. Okay, thank you. Okay, all the response coming very fast. Okay, and again on this question here, I can see that I do have a very varied response. Many has told me that it's not possible to tell. Okay, yeah, I see many. Of course, there are also those who came in with false, and also there are some true as well. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you all for the response here. Okay, and attempting this question. Okay, indeed, I did see a lot of not possible to tell. Many of you has provided me with that option. Okay, now let's look at this question and see whether what should be the correct answer. Okay, now whether is it the majority who got it correct? Because I can see roughly almost majority seems to be telling me not possible to tell. All right. But I also got other answer as well. Those who told me true and told me false. Okay. Now the answer for the first statement. Okay. Let me just put it here for you. I put a tick. All right. False. Okay. Those who tell me it's false, yes. Okay, you are correct. Now let me explain to you why. Okay. Especially since in this case, majority, many of you got the answer as something else. Not possible to tell, which I see many of you have put that as an answer. Now, in this case here, they say that the number of players who made 5 shots, okay, is more than the number of players who made 3 shots. Okay. Now, you're comparing those who made 5 shots with those who made 3 shots. Okay. Now, can you see that total is 8 players and 8 players made at least 3. That means from 3 onwards, total is 8. You can only have 8 players, right? Because 8 players made 3 shots, at least 3 shots. So that means 3 shots, 4 shots, 5 shots, altogether add up must be 8. Okay, so I'm going to put this down here. So from here to here, total is your 8 player. Okay. Now, at least 2 players made 4 shots. So 4 shots got 2 players or more. Okay. Now, of course, if you have more people taking have 4 shots, then you will have less people with 5 shots. Am I right? Because the total is 8 from 3, 4, and 5. Now, 3 shots, I already know there are 3 players, okay, because this part is not hidden, right? It's already 3. So I know that this part here must be between 4 and 5 shots must be the remaining 5 players. Okay. So between the 5 players, if let's say I choose the minimum, those with 4 shots, let's say only got 2 players. So the maximum I can have for people with 5 shots must be 3. Am I right? Agree, everyone? Okay. So in this case here, if I have more people with 4 shots, then of course the number of people with 5 shots will be lower, right? So I just take the minimum first and see the extreme situation. What is the maximum of people with 5 shots that I can get? So I notice that it's only 3%. So 3%, if you compare with those people with 3 shots, okay, can you say that the player who made 5 shots is more than the number of players who made 3 shots? No, they are the same. Okay, it's not more at all. So therefore, answer has to be false. Okay, Ken, are you all following that? Okay, I hope that is clear to everyone. Okay, so that is the reason why. Okay, yeah, thanks for the response. Yeah, those of you who actually get it. Okay, many of you say yeah. Okay, okay, Ken. All right, well done. So everyone is now clear already, especially those of you who actually didn't get it right. So just for the benefit of everyone, let me just put this down. Okay, what I just said. Okay, so just for the benefit of everyone, so that after the webinar, if you need to refer back again, then you can still remember what I said. Okay. Okay, I'm going to type it out for you. Okay, what I just said. Okay, so in this case here, okay, number of player, okay, who made, okay, 4 or 5 shots, okay, has to be equal to, that's what I mentioned to you, right? 8 minus away the 3, okay? So in this case here, you will have a total of 5, okay? And then we also know that, okay, at least 2 player, okay, you have 4 shots. Okay, So this means that the maximum, okay, the maximum number of players who made 5 shots, okay, just now I explained to you, has to be equal to 3, correct? Because I take 5 minus 2, okay? Because if I assume the minimum number of players who make 4 shots is 2, right? So the maximum I can have for 5 shots has to be 3, okay? So with that, so we know that, okay, so that we know that the number of players, okay, who made 5 shots, okay, cannot be more than 3. Okay, all right. So in this case here, past answer is false. Okay, so maybe I just put it in as a concise form. So these are the key points that I made just now, right? So that you can actually have this as answer for your own when you, so you can remember in future if you have to revise. Okay, this is the reason why. Now let's look at the second statement together. Okay. Now the second statement says that the average shot made by all the players cannot be more than 3. Okay. So the average shot made by all the players, okay, indicate all the players, cannot be more than 3. All right. Now, is this true, false, or not possible to tell? Okay. This question here is also not so straightforward. Okay. You need to do some work. Okay. Now, let me see what is the response from everyone. Okay. Okay, again, this question quite similar to the previous one. Again, I have again a very varied response. I got true, false, a lot of true and false, and also got some tell me that it's not possible to tell. Okay, yeah. So again, we have quite a mixed response from many of you. Okay, okay, but it's good to try. Okay, yeah, whether right or wrong, important thing is we are going to learn a lot of things from tonight's session. Okay, and okay, let me see. Okay, yeah. Thanks for all the responses. Okay. Very mixed response. Okay. Now let me gonna explain to you. Now, like I mentioned to you in the very beginning, right? Earlier on, right? When you do this kind of logical reasoning question, a lot of times, it's not just about thinking through in your mind. Okay. It's not just logical thinking through. A lot of times such questions require calculation. Okay. Calculation to really support your reasoning. Okay. So that you have a very concrete basis as to whether you think it's true, is it false, or is it really not possible to tell? Okay, so in order to draw that conclusion, you need to have some working to support that. Now, let me show you for the answer for second statement. Now, the second statement answer, in this case, the answer should be, is actually true. Okay, we can be very certain that this statement is true, whereby the average number of shots cannot be more than 3. Okay, now, how do I draw that conclusion? Okay, now I'm going to show you, okay, my calculation as a basis to support this answer. Now, look at here. In this question here, to find the average, you need to know the total score, all right? Divided by the total player. Now, in this case here, the total shot among the player who made between 1 to 3 shots, okay? Okay, I can do a calculation. Let me just move this up a little bit. Okay, maybe I will type it out as well, just for the benefit. As I explained, maybe I will type it out so that later you will then have the answer as well as I explained. Now, the total shot among the players, see, from 1 to 3, I can see that, there are 7 players who have 1 shot, right? And then you got 9 players with 2 shots and 3 players with 3 shots. So if I have to add up the number of shot. Okay, I'm going to have this. So let me just write this down. Okay, the total shots among players who made. Okay, so we just do the 1 to 3 shot first. Who made between 1 to 3 shots. All right. So this will be equal to. Okay. Okay, never mind. Okay, I put 34 as the answer, but I'm going to show you how I get this number. Okay. So 7 players with 1 shot. So meaning to say the total number of shots coming from there will be 7 multiplied by 1. Okay. Then I'm going to plus those people with 2 shots. Okay. So on the table, I have 9, right? So therefore, I'm going to have 9 multiplied by 2. Okay. Then followed by 3 shots. So I got 3%. So therefore, 3 multiplied by 3. Okay. So this is how I get my number of shots as 34. Okay. Now, we also know that at least 2 players made 4 shots. Okay. So I'm going to put this down. Okay. We also know at least 2 players, okay, made 4 shots, right? This is what the question has given us. So what does this mean? Okay, so this means that a maximum of 3 players will actually make 5 shots. Okay, so this one you can follow, right? Because in the first statement, I will explain that why the maximum is 3. Okay, so in this case, if I know that is the case, then what will be the total number of shots that I can get? Okay, so that means the total shot. So the total shot. Okay, let me put this down. The total shot. Okay. Okay, the total shot. Okay, the maximum total shot. So the maximum total shot will be equal to. So from 1 to 3 is we calculated the total was 34, right? And then now I plus the 2 from the 2 person who made 4 shots, right? So therefore I plus the 2 times 4. Then I will plus the 3%. Okay. The maximum of that 3% who made 5 shots. Okay. So this will give me a total of, if you add up together, don't make a mistake in addition, you should get 57. Okay. So this is 57. So you take 57 divided by the total number. Okay. You divided by the total number of people. So in this case here, you have 7 plus 9 and 8%. So in this case here, the average will be equal to, so you should get 2.375. 2.375. Okay? Because you got 8% with 3 or more shots, and then you got 7% and 9% for 1 and 2 respectively. So divide, you get 2.375. So from here, you can clearly see that this average is certainly less than 3. So therefore, we can very sure that actually the statement is, in this case, is true. Okay. So can everyone got it? Yes, very good. I think some of you have also shown me your working as well. So you also have gotten the same number, right? 2.375. Okay, yeah, can, good. Okay, very good. For those of you who actually get it correct. Okay, So for those of you who didn't get it right just now, I hope this is now clearer. Okay, you are now able to understand better, right? How actually from the calculation, actually it can help you to determine whether which statement is true, false, or not possible to have. All right. Okay, Ken, are you good to, I hope everyone can quickly take your screenshot now, okay? So that before we move on to the next question, then later you don't have to come back again for this question to take the screenshot. Okay, all got it? Okay, everyone got the question, Okay, yes. Okay, good. Thanks for the response. Okay, so I'm going to move to the next question here. Question number 3. Okay, next question. The next category of question that we have shortlisted is what we call data analysis question. Okay, now data analysis question a lot of time require you to not just interpret the answer or the information that's given in the question, but many times you also need to interpret the information that's given in the graph as well. It can be a pie chart, it can be a bar chart, and so on. So a lot of time for such question, the question that the information that they gave you, it could be only partially reflected in the wording. Okay, I mean in the statement here. Okay, some information is actually found in the graph. So you must integrate all the information together to comprehensively have a clear picture of what the question is asking you, okay? And relate that to what the question wants. So let's apply this to the first question that we have for tonight. Now, this question is slightly on the not too difficult type. Later on, I will show you a slightly more challenging version. Okay. Now, for this one, let me quickly go through this with everyone. So the graph actually shows actually company A and B, the number of cars sold. Okay, for the month indicated here, right, from January to April. Now, the bar for the number of cars sold for company B, okay, in March is not drawn. Okay, so there's some missing data. So let's look at the answer. Let's look at the question for part A. Now, B has an average of 250 cars in the 4 months. So how many cars did company sell in March? Okay, so very quickly, those of you who haven't had a chance to try this question, okay, can you quickly work it out? And you can put into the chat and let us know. Okay, what is the answer that you get? Okay, so what's the answer for the March? What's the answer for March? Okay, I have majority of you all gave me the same answer, but I do have some who gave me slightly different answer, different numbers coming up. Okay, I got 225, 250, 160 as well. Okay, 125. All right. Okay, but quite a number of you have gave me the answer as 150. But I do have some different answer. Okay. All right, Ken. Thank you for all the attempt and sharing with us your answer. Okay. So for part A, okay, I think there are some of you who didn't quite get it correct. Okay, so let me explain. Okay, for part A. Now, company B sells an average of 250 car in the 4 months. Okay, so the average across the 4 months is 250. So I want to know what is the missing data for March. How can I go about it? Now, this is actually testing you on what you understand from the concept of averages. Okay. Now, average in this case here is over 4 months. So from here, I will be able to know what is the total over the 4 months. Am I right? Because average of 4 months is 250. So in this case here, okay, for part A, I will be able to know what total car sold. Okay, total car that is sold, okay, by company B, okay, by company B is equal to, let's take 250 multiplied by 4, okay, because that is the average over the 4 months. So that will give you 1,000, okay. Now, I've seen some answer. Just now I saw one answer came in as 1,000, okay? So for that student, I think please be careful. Okay, this is not the final answer, right? So once you know the total is 1,000, okay, I can now find what is the data for March, okay, because I know the other 3 months. So what you need to do, okay, for those of you who didn't got it correct, is that you just need to take the car, okay, in this case, the car sold in March, okay, which is what the question wants, is equal to take the total, just simply take the total minus away the 3 months that I already know. Okay, so if you read carefully from the table, okay, read carefully from the table, you should have 350, 325, and 175. Okay, so 350, then you have 325 and 175. Now, just now I noticed the one answer is give me as in the chat was 160. So I think that one could be a careless calculation, because your answer is almost there. So probably when you read off the scale, maybe you will miss out something. Okay, so have to be quite careful as well, although it's not difficult, but can be easy to make careless mistake. So a simple question, but student can still make mistake and lose mark. Could be due to carelessness. So for such question, you have to be also quite careful. So this will give you an answer of 150, okay, which I can see many of you got it correct, okay, but just that I can see there's still quite a number who gave me a different answer. Okay, so for those students, please be careful with that. So this is how we should do for part A, okay. So let's look at part B. Now, which month did company B sell more car than A? Okay, so which one? Okay, let me see the answer that's coming. Okay, some tell me, okay. I do see different answer. Okay, although the majority gave me the same answer, but I still see a few of you who give me slightly different answer. Okay, there are some who say January, some say January and March. Okay, can. Okay, but majority of you has told me that answer should be February and April. Okay, now some of you gave me only 1 month, only 1 month, February alone. Okay, and some tell me it's January. Okay, never mind. Good to have a go at this question and try. Okay, now let me explain this to everyone. Again, I got different answer, and those of you who didn't get it correct. Now, when you read this question here, they say which month did company B sell more car than A? Okay, which month? So you will then have to compare between both company A and company B, right? And then you can just simply do a comparison and you can easily determine which month. Okay, but you have to be a bit careful, because you cannot just rely on the height of the bar to very quickly draw a conclusion that, oh, is that for this month and is that for that particular month. Okay, you must read the scale, and you will notice that the scale in this case here is a little bit different. They do not share the same scale, right? Because this one all the way, the scale all the way go up to 450. Okay, for this scale, it goes all the way to 400. Okay, so if you put side by side, you cannot just rely on whether the two bar is like seems to be the same height. So therefore, I think maybe they are the same. Okay, no. Okay, you must to read exactly what is the value that it corresponds to, and then you consciously, determine and compare. January and January, you do a comparison. February and February, you do a comparison, and so on and so forth. Okay, the respective month. So if you have done that, if you look carefully, I think this is a very straightforward question. You should be able to determine that. Okay, I'm going to write over here, okay, so that I've got enough space. So for B, okay, you should be able to get the answer. It should be your February and in the month of February and April. Okay, so these are the 2 months, which many of you got it correct. All right, so I just want to highlight that, okay? For those of you who didn't got it correct, I'm quite sure it's because of some of those kind of mistakes that I actually highlighted just now, okay? but otherwise it should be very clear. If you look at that. Okay, so February and April. Okay, well done. Yeah, the vast majority got it correct. Okay, I'm going to go on to part C. Okay, now part C, the question asks you, in May, company B sold twice the number of cars that it sold in April, while company A sold 50% more car than what it sold in April. Okay, so these are the information given to us. So B, okay, for B, okay, in May it sold twice. So it's twice which month? Twice that sold in April. Whereas for company A is 50% more, okay, compared to April. So that is your May data, which is not given, not reflected in your graph. Okay, but they give you this information. So question is, how many more cars did B sell than A in the month of May? Now, to do this question, clearly we need to make some computation, right, to determine exactly how many was sold by company A and how many was sold by company B for the month of May. So we can do that calculation, okay, because based on that information, okay, let me show you how this can be done. Okay, now, but before that, I can see a number of you has already put in your answer in the chat, okay, and I can see that in this question here, I think majority of you all got it correct, okay? Only a few handful who gave slightly different answer, but otherwise, I think, yeah, many of you all got it correct, okay? Yeah, so good try, okay? Now, let me just put this down, okay, for the benefit of anyone who, in case you get slightly the different answer. Now, for part C, now I can determine the number of cars sold by A in May. Okay, so I'm going to put that. So cars sold, okay, so by company A in May, I'm going to write this down. So how many is that going to be? Okay, so it says it's 150%, right? So compare that to April. So April is 150. So in this case, it will be 150% multiplied by 150. Okay. So 150% by 150, if you do the calculation, okay, it will be, okay, so it's the same as 150 over 100. Okay, you times 150. All right. So this one will give you 225. Okay, 225. Now, same thing, I'm going to do that same computation for the case of company B. Okay, so by B, okay, in the month of May. So what would that be? Now, it says twice. Okay, so this one is slightly easier. So I just need to double it, right? 2 times 175, which is the what is reflected in the graph, right, for the April. So in this case here, you will get 350. So therefore, I can know the difference already, right? So the difference will be just simply 350 minus 225. Okay, and that's how you get 125. Okay, so well done. Okay, many of you actually got this question correct. Okay, so you can just simply do the calculation. Okay, and then you will get the answer. All right, then. So if anyone need to take the screenshot, please do it now. Okay, otherwise I'm going to move on to the next question. Now in the next question here, okay, we have another data analysis question. Now this question is a little bit slightly more tricky. So let's work it out together. Now I'm going to, let me just shift this up. Okay. So in this question here, you have a rectangular tank that's partially filled with water at the beginning. And this person turn on tap A. Now this kind of question whereby you have two different taps happening at the same time. And then the question asks you to answer the question accordingly. This is another typical kind of training question that on and off you do get to see, right, over the past recent years. Now, in this question here, I know that tap A is turned on first. So water is added to the tank. And after 10 minutes, tap B is on. But tap B is not adding water. Tap B is what? It drains water. Okay? So tap B is drain water. Okay? So please take note. Okay? Only tap A they added water. Now, the tank was 2/5 filled. Okay, 2/5. This is the important information. Okay, 2/5 filled at the 25 minute, 25 minute mark. Okay, so based on the information here as well as the information reflected in the graph. Okay, so you need to read the two, get the information from both the text here as well as the information from the graph to answer your question. Now, let's look at part A. Now, what was the volume of the whole tank? Okay, so I know some of you all has already put in your answer to me. So I'm going to have a quick look at it. Okay, but I don't think I have that many yet. So for the rest of you who is working out, can you quickly put it in as well? So I encourage everyone to try, especially many of you who actually haven't had a chance to try the question, right? Just now you were telling me. So please give it a try now. Okay, we'll do this together. Okay, and see what is the answer that you get. Okay, very good. Well done. I think for part A, good job. I see many of you who came in with the answer now, and your answer is correct. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, now I'm going to, just for the benefit of in case anyone who need to refer to the answer, okay, I'm going to write it down for you, part A. Now, part A, to find the volume of the whole tank. Now, the information that I mentioned to you that is important because at 25-minute mark is 2/5 filled. Okay, so I'm going to write this down, part A. Okay, so the volume at the 25th minute, all right, okay, is given as, from the graph you will read off, right, is 70 liter, okay, at the 25th. But they say that it's actually 2/5 filled. That means 2/5 of the tank, okay, 2/5 of the tank is equal to 70 liter. Okay, if you know 2/5 is of the tank is 70 liter, you will know what is 1/5. Okay, so that will be 70 divided by 2, so that will be 35, right? Divided by 2, so that will give you 35. So from here, I will know what is the whole tank, right? Whole tank means 5/5. Okay, the whole entire tank. So just simply 35 times 5. Okay, so this will give you the total capacity 175. Okay, so well done. Okay, many of you got it correct. Okay, so this is how we do that. Now let's look at part B. Now, what was the rate at which part B drained the water from the tank? Okay, for part B. Okay, this is what the question asks. So can everyone try that and see what is the answer that you got? Okay, now just now from the first part, I also noticed actually, although majority of you all get it correct, I have some of you who give me different answer, like say 100 liter, for example. Some of you all gave me the answer as that for part A, okay? So I hope those of you who didn't got it right, I hope you now understand, okay? From just now my working, okay, you now understand how we actually derive the answer. Okay. Okay. Now let me look at the part B. Now, again, part B, I have slightly different answer. Okay. I got different answer coming in for part B. Okay. Some of you all told me it's 1 liter per minute. Some told me 5 liter per minute. Okay. So, okay, a few people tell me 5 liter per minute. Okay, there are also 2 liter as well. Okay, 2 liter per minute as well. Okay. 2.8, 0.8 liter per minute. Okay, so I got more and more different answer coming in. Okay, a number of 2 liter per minute. Okay, can. Okay, so quite a few of you came back with a different answer for part B. Now, let me show you how we should approach question part B. Okay, now let us understand what is happening here. Now, you can see from this graph here, now the volume of the rate at which when tap A is on, is increasing at this particular rate. But from 10 minutes onward, when tab B is on, it starts to drain water. So can you see that the rate changes, right? From the slope of the two lines. Okay. So we are going to make use of that information here to help us to find. Okay. So over here, I'm going to show you. Now from the first 10 minutes, when there's only tab A is on, you can see that the volume increased from 10 liters all the way to 40 liters. And that is over 10 minutes. But when you look at from 10 minutes to the 25th minute, the volume changes increase from 40 to 70. Okay, so the rate is a bit different. Now I'm going to show you the working from here. Now in the case of, let's find what is the rate of tab A. Okay, so this is for part B, rate of flow, okay, of tab A. So this is not difficult, right? So I know the change is from 40 liter, from 10 liter to 40 liter, and that is over 10 minutes. Okay, over the 10 minutes. So in this, you will be able to get our answer is 3 liter per minute. Okay, 3 liter per minute. Okay. Now, how about the next part? Okay, I'm going to write this down. Now, from the 10th minute to the 25th minute. Okay. Now, you will notice that my water from my tab A, okay. Now, in that 15 minute, okay, in this 15 minute, okay, how much water would have actually gone into the tank? Okay. Now, since I know it's 3 liter per minute, I multiply by 15 minutes. Okay. So this should give me 45, right? I should expect 45 liters to have gone into the tank. Okay. Now, but the increase in the water in the tank is actually not increased by 45. Right? You notice that. Okay, just now we saw from the graph that the water actually increased. Okay. The water increase in the tank is actually from 40 liter to 70 liter. Okay, if you look at from the 10 minute onwards. So in this case, my water increased from 70 liter, 40 liter to 70 liter. So it's a difference of 30 liter. Okay. So by right, it should increase by 45 liter if let's say tab A continue to fill up the tank. But the water actually only increased by 30 liter over that from 10 to the 25th minute. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So where did the 15 liter goes to? It must be because of the tab B, right? Which is draining away the water. Make sense? Okay. So in this case here, the rate of tab B, so I can now find what is the rate of tab B already. Rate of tab B. Okay. Which is the culprit, is the fellow who is causing my water to, I have a missing 15 liter, right? Over the 15 minute. Okay, because from 10 to 25 is 15 minutes, right? So where did my 15 liter go to? It's because of the tab B. Tab B is the culprit who actually drained off my water. So therefore, this the rate of tab B must be equal to, so the difference of that 45 minus away this 30, which is the 15, divided by the 15 minute, right? So this will give me 1 liter per minute. Okay, 15 divided by 15 is 1, okay? So that's the answer for part B. Okay, is that clear to everyone? Okay, especially for those of you who didn't got it right. Okay, okay, I hope that's clear now. Okay, yeah, good. Thanks. Thanks for the response. Okay, you got it. Okay, thank you. Now, I'm going to move on to the last part, okay, part C. Now for part C, the question, okay, let's see what the question asks. How long did it take to empty the tank after tap A was turned off? Okay, because they say that after the 25th minute, tap A is now turned off. So now only tap B is on. Okay, so tap B is now draining all the water. So there's no more incoming water. But let's look at the graph. How much water is in the tank at that point in time? You read off from here. Can you see it's 70 liter? Okay, so at the point whereby tap A is off, there's 70 liter water. So how long will it take? So I think this is quite easy now. Okay, so the time taken, because I already know the answer for part B. Okay, so the 70 liter I divided by the 1 liter per minute. Okay, the 1 liter per minute. So in this case here, you will have 70 minutes. Okay, so that will be answer for part C. Okay, can everyone? I hope you are now all clear. Okay, for this question, this is how you should do this. All the three parts. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to leave this answer here. So anyone need to take the screenshot for this part, please do so now. Okay, before I move the screen to the next question. Okay. All right. Okay, good. For those of you who actually gave the answer, 70 minutes. Okay, good. Well done. Okay, now let's look at the next question. Now, the next category of question that I want to actually show you, and we're prepared for everyone as one of the very common kind of training question that you will get to see is what we call spatial visualization. Okay, whereby you need to do some visualization depending on how the question is being set. Okay, and this is also the type of question that actually many students do face some challenges. Okay, so I'm going to let everyone have some time to take a look at this question. Okay, especially those of you who are working together with me. Okay, which I know quite a number of you. Now, this figure here shows, given below here, not drawn to scale. So please do not go and try to measure them and, okay, not to scale, okay? Now, it's made out of a rectangle, which you can see from here, rectangle. Now, with some parts shaded, okay? So it's quite clear these are the shaded part. Now, the unshaded part comprises of 4 identical quarter circles. Okay, so these are useful information, okay? It's identical, okay? This is identical. So take note of this keyword, hint and key hint given to you, okay? And there's also a semicircle, okay? One semicircle. Okay. Now the ratio of the length of the rectangle to the breadth, I mean this rectangle, this length and the breadth is 7:4. Okay, 7:4. Okay, that's a useful information, because that's the ratio of length to the breadth. Now, what is the parameter of the shaded part? So what do we mean by parameter? Okay, in this context here, the parameter will be all this. Okay, all this, where I'm showing you the red color portion, right? And plus this straight portion, then the curve portion all the way, right? So this will be the parameter. Okay, that the question asking you, what is the parameter of the shaded part? Now, can everyone put on your thinking cap, okay, and try to visualize and also analyze the question? Now, what do you think is the answer? Okay, I let you try, everyone. Okay. If any one of you are ready, you can feel free to put into the chat, okay, and let me know what is your answer. Okay, different answer has come in. Okay, so I'm going to give another a bit more time for the rest who is still working through to let me know what is the answer. Okay, I got different answer from different response. Okay, although I do see a number of same answer. Okay, some tell me that you don't know, IDK. Okay. Okay, no worry. Okay, I will be explaining later on, okay, to help you understand. So for you who have no idea how to start or how to even do this question, okay, I will explain to you step by step. Okay, I will explain to you each of the steps so that you not just know the answer, but you also thoroughly gonna understand the working. Okay, why am I doing that particular step? Okay, I'm going to explain that to everyone. Okay, so I got some different answer. Some told me it's impossible. Okay, okay. No, it can be solved. It's not impossible to solve. Okay, so I do have different answer. I got 110. Okay, I got 132, 135. Some got fraction one. Some of your answer is got fraction. Okay. Okay, another 143. Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks for trying. Okay, for those of you who actually has tried, for those of you who tried but still cannot do it, don't worry. Okay, I'm going to explain to you now to help you understand. Now, for this question here, now we know that the ratio of the length to the breadth is actually 7:4. Okay. Now that is when it's a complete rectangle. That means I haven't actually. You can imagine all this unshaded part is like you cut them out, right? Okay, so let's say you haven't cut them out. So one complete rectangle, this is so this is maybe I used the word before, okay? So I will have my length, then I have my breadth. I'm going to just put it down here in a systematic way so that it's easy for everyone to follow and understand. So the ratio given to me was 7:4, right? Over here. Okay, so this is 7 and this is 4. All right. Okay, I can also treat this as like 7 unit and this is like 4 unit. Okay. So what's the difference here? The difference here is 3 unit, right? The difference between my length and my breadth. Okay, it's a difference of 3 unit. Okay, this one everyone can understand, right? This is all right. Now, this is the crucial part here. Now, after you consider all the unshaded part, okay? Now, the unshaded part comprises of the identical quarter circle and one semicircle, okay? And then what you have is actually this length, okay? Now, you can see that over here, the length of 21 cm is actually the same as this also, right? This is also 21. Okay, 21 cm. Agree? I will write here, this is 21 cm. Okay, because these four corners are identical quarter of a circle. Okay, so this length here is the same as this length, right? Which is the equal to the diameter of this semicircle, 21 cm here to 21 cm. Okay, now you all notice something. Okay, I'm going to point this out to those of you who couldn't solve this. Now, my length here, the ratio of my length after that, or rather the difference in the length, okay? So, okay, I'm going to put it down here. Okay, after, let's say I cut out, all this white color portion. So you'll notice that my difference in the length, okay, between the length and breadth here is now what? I have 21 centimeter remaining. And here is actually 6 centimeter. Now, can you see that my breadth is actually reduced by the same amount of length as compared to my length? Okay, so my length is reduced by the same value because it's actually the radius of 2 quarter circle. So this is this particular length here is shortened by the radius of these 2 quarter circle. My breadth is also reduced by the length of these 2 identical quarter circle. Okay, so does it ring a bell to you? That means you have reduced by the same amount. So like take for example, let's say A and B. Okay, A and B got a certain quantity initially or of certain ratio. Now, if let's say A give away, let's say A and B got equal number of, got a certain number of apple that they have, right? So with a certain ratio, let's say 7:4. Now, if let's say A give away 10 apple, B also give away 10 apple. Now, their difference, is it still the same? Their difference will still be the same, right? Constant difference, because they have all equally deducted the same amount. So the difference between the two of them is still the same. Now, it's exactly the same situation here. My length, okay, I have reduced by the same amount, cut off by the same amount as compared to my breadth as well, right? My breadth also reduced by the same amount. So this 21 and 6, the difference is how many? 21 minus 6, the difference here is actually 15 cm. So that means this difference of 3 units is actually equal to the 15 cm. Okay, so this is the important part that you must notice. So this will allow you to know that 1 unit is therefore 5 cm. Okay, for this particular question. Now, once you know what is 1 unit, then you can actually find many things really. Okay, so you will know that in this case here, 1 unit, so that means I know my length, right? So my entire length, okay, my entire length will be equal to, because it's 7 unit, right? So it's therefore 7 times 5. So that will give you 35 cm. Okay, and if you know 35 cm, you will know the radius of your this 4 identical circle. So the radius of your, okay, maybe I write down quarter circle, okay? Quarter circle. So the radius of quarter circle will be just simply take this 35, I minus away the 21, right? Over here 21, then I must divide by 2. Okay, divide by 2 because there are 2 of them on each side. So this will give you 7, okay, 7 cm. Okay. 7 cm. So in this case here, I can find the curve length of my semicircle. I can also find the curve length of my 4/4 circle. Okay, so the curve length, okay, I just try to write down here, curve length of your semicircle. Okay, so that will be pi d, right? But it's half a circle, so therefore half times pi times d, right? D is 21. Okay, so that will give me 33. Okay, now same thing, I can do the computation for the curve length of my 4/4 circle, right? I got total 4/4 circle. Okay, so this will give me, so 4/4 circle is as good as just the entire circle, right? So just 2 pi r, right? 2 times pi multiplied by the radius, which we found just now was 7. Okay, so that will give me, multiply together, you get 44. Okay, 44. So with that, I can find the parameter of the whole entire figure, right? Okay, I got no space here, so maybe I write it here. Okay, let me just change my color so that you can able to pick it up. Okay, so I'm going to write here. So the parameter, in this case here, of your shaded, okay, of the shaded part will be equal to the 33 that we found plus the 44, okay, that we found. These are all the curve length. But don't forget the straight part, okay? So they are actually, this one, 6 cm, here also 6 cm. So plus 6, plus 6, and then plus this one, 21 cm, right? The other straight portion. So plus 21. So if you do that summation, you will get 110. Okay? So for those questions, for those students who actually got 10 just now in the chat, okay, good job, okay, well done. Okay, you have got this question correct. Okay, for the many of you who actually gave me a different answer, okay, I hope this is clear to you now. Okay, so this is how you should apply. Okay, is that okay, everyone? Okay, can, yeah, good. Okay, thanks for the response. Many of you who couldn't get it now, you understand. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is for question number 5. So I'm going to move on to question number 6. Okay, question number 6. Okay, those of you who need to take a screenshot, please do it now. Okay. Now, for the rest of you, can move on to look at question number 6. This is another visualization question. Okay, another very popular kind of question. There's many variation. Okay, it's involving when you start to fold the paper. Okay, this kind of folding question is a very popular trending question. Okay, often you get many different variation of such question. So I'm going to go through this and help you to understand. Okay, now question number 6. You got this figure below. Again, not drawn to scale. Okay, so it's a piece of paper that's in the shape of a parallelogram, ABCD. So the paper is now folded along the line EF. Okay, as shown. Now they tell you a few useful information. Now your BF is equal to your BG. And this is also another important information. This one. Angle BFG is 0.5 times the size of angle EFG. Okay, EFG is this one. This one. Okay. So I'm going to use a different color. Okay. Now your angle BFG. BFG. I'm going to use a red color here. Okay. Over here. This one. Okay. This red color one. Okay. Is actually 0.5 times of the blue color angle right over here. Okay, EFG. Now, this information is going to help me, okay, because I'll going to show you in a short while. Now, find angle FBG, okay, as well as angle CGH. Okay, these are the two angles you're asked to find. Now, with this information, I want everyone to have a go at this, okay, and give it a try. Okay, you can give me both answers, A and B, okay, and you can put into the chat, okay, and let's see what answer did you get. Okay. Now everyone can try this. Okay, both question A and B. Okay, you can give me both answer. Okay, because actually from part A, if you know the answer for part A, you should be able to get the answer for part B. All right. Okay. Okay. I do have quite a number of y'all who have the answer for part A, but the answer for part B, I have a bit of a different answer. Some of you give me slightly different answer. Quite close. Maybe is it computation carelessness? Okay. Okay, can. All right. So maybe I will. Okay. Thanks for all the response. Okay. Thanks for attempting the question. Now, I think many of you all got the answer for part A. Okay. Maybe not everyone. Okay. Now let me explain for part A. Now for part A, to find angle FBG. Okay. FBG. This particular angle. Okay. Now, how am I going to find? Okay. Now, the question says that BF is equal to BG. So BF is equal to BG. Here, BF equal to BG, right? So this tells me that this one must be an isosceles triangle. Okay, BF equal to BG. So meaning to say, if I know one of the angle, okay, this angle BFG, I should be able to know what is angle FBG. Okay, so we can actually compute this way. Now, this is 0.5 times the size of this angle. When 0.5 times means half of it. So half of it, actually, I can treat this as this. Okay, I can treat this as because I don't know the value. I can treat this as maybe 1 unit. This must be 2 unit. Okay, because it's half of it, right? So the ratio is 1:2. So I know this 2 unit. But when you start to fold this paper together, you will notice that actually this angle is also the same. Right? If this is 2 unit, here must be also 2 unit. Because you fold it, right? So these two angles are actually the same. They come from here. So that's an important visualization that you must take note of for those of you who actually maybe get a slightly different answer. Okay, so in this case here, part A, so I will know that because this is a straight line, so we all know that the sum of all these angles on the straight line here must be equal to 180. So this means that, okay, if I just write this down, so this angle AFE, angle AFE is equal to angle EFG. Okay, so that is actually the 2 unit that I just mentioned. Okay, so and I also know that my angle, because it's half of it, right, 0.5, so I know my angle BFG, my angle BFG will be 1 unit. Okay, so with that, I will know that this 2 unit plus the 2 unit and the 1 unit must be equal to 180. So from here, I will know 1 unit is how much. Okay, my 1 unit in this case here will be 36 degree. Okay, so I know 1 unit is 36 degree, which is this one, this angle here, the one that I shaded in red, this angle. So I will clearly know what is my angle BFG. Okay, so my angle BFG, because it's an isosceles triangle, because it already mentioned to us BF equal to BG. So that means I will take 180 minus 36 minus 36. Okay, so that will give me the answer. So the answer, you should get 108. Okay, so good job to those of you who got it correct. Okay, so that's your part A. Now let's take a look at your part B. Okay, now part B, I want to find angle CGH. Okay, so CGH, that means this angle. Okay, this angle here. Okay, CGH. Now, how can I do that? Okay, now you can observe that my angle FGH, okay, FGH, okay, is actually equal to this angle 72, right? Because this is a parallelogram. Okay, parallelogram. So if you know that this is actually over here, 108, that means this angle must be 72. Okay, it's a parallelogram, right? So that's the property of parallelogram. Now, so if I know that is 72, I will know that my angle FGH, FGH, okay, this angle is also 72, right? Because it comes from this corner, right? Because when I fold it. So I'm going to write down my working here. Okay, I've used red color so that I can see more clearly. So I'm going to write down, so angle FGH, okay, will be equal to okay, 180 minus away the 108. Okay, so I'm going to show you this how I got the 72, right? Which I just explained to you. So therefore, I will know what is my angle CGH. Okay, so CGH will be just simply 180 minus away the 72 and also minus 36. Okay, 36. Okay, wait, not enough space. Okay, let me write again. 180 72 and 36. Okay, so that will give me 72. Okay, so this is how you get the answer for part B. Okay, which again, I have also seen a number of you actually got this part correct. Okay, so very good try. All right, so I hope that's clear to everyone. Okay, now there's some of you who got 76. Okay, can. Okay, so now you got it. Okay, so the answer for CGH will be 72. Okay, now that is for question number 6. Now let's take a look at the next question. Question number 7. Okay, those of you who need to take the screenshot, you can do it now. Okay, before I move the page. Okay, now question number 7 is the other category of question that you will also see this in your exam.
Yeah,
right?
Just to highlight the question A, the final working should be FBG. I think it was just a typo and not BFG.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the students was noting. Yeah, so you can just put it.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Yeah, I think on my screen, maybe the word is a bit small. Okay, let me just yeah, I think I see right now wrongly. Okay, no worry. So instead of yeah, FBG. Okay, yeah, sorry, the order I corrected. I changed the order. Okay, yeah, that's right. So it should be FBG. Yeah. Okay, FBG. Okay, FBG. Okay, good, thanks. Okay, so good on every one of you. Yeah, alert so can help me to find out this typo. Okay, so we move on to the next question. Okay, let's get question number 7. Okay, it's on the number pattern. Okay, so let's see how we can answer that question. Now I'm going to move up the slide. Okay, question number 7. Now, for this question here, okay, we have this person has got this gray and white square to make the figure shown below, and they follow a pattern. Okay, so you can see from here, figure 1, figure 2, all the way to figure 5, they follow a certain pattern. So part A, you are asked to find which figure has 151 white square. Okay, which figure? Okay, so this kind of question, you need to actually interpret the pattern that's given in the figure and do your analysis. Okay, now let me see how many of you have got it correct. Okay, those of you who have tried can just key in your answer. Okay, I think majority of you seem to have gotten the answer correct, except for some number. Okay, I start to have different number coming in. 52, 71, 54, 52. Okay, some different answer coming in. Okay, Ken. Now let me explain this. Let me work it through for you. Now for this question here, now for part A, let's look at part A. Now, which figure has 151 white square? Now, if you notice the pattern, okay, now you will find that for the white square, right, figure 1, you have 1 white square, okay, figure 2, you have 3, and figure 3, you have 5, okay. Now, do you notice something? After this white square, figure 2, I add another 2 white square, okay, this one, okay, and figure 3, I added how many? Another one more. So altogether, I have 2 set of 2 white square. Okay, and this pattern continue. Okay, so you will notice that every figure I added additional 2 white square. Okay, starting from the first figure. Okay, from the second figure, I start to add another 2 more. So you notice that in figure 2, I have 1 set of 2 white square. Figure 3, I will have 2 set of 2 white square. Then figure 4, I have 3 set, right? 1, 2, and 3, right? So figure 4, 3 set. So you notice that the number of set of these 2 white square is always 1 less than your figure number. Okay, it's always 1 less. So in this case here, you can establish this pattern, you can notice something. So in this case here, for the white square, okay, for this white square, right, I'm going to have 1, okay, the first one, I will start to add the number of the set of 2 white square, the multiple of 2, right? So how many multiple of 2? Let's say I let n to be the number of figure number, figure n. So the figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that in general, I can have n number of figure, but I will know that the number of set of these 2 white square is always 1 less than that number. Okay, so in this case here, I will be less than 1, and n minus 1. Okay, then I multiply by the 2. Okay, because every time I got 2 set, right? So let's say n represent 3, figure 3, that means figure 3, I will have 2 set of 2 white square. Okay, and so on and so forth. So from here, I can then establish that this is my general expression of representing this. So if I want to know the how many which figure has 151 white square, I can just simply equate this, right? Because this is the total number of white square, okay, for any figure number. So in this case here, if I were to do that, I can write down as 1 plus this n minus 1 times 2 equal to 151. So that I can find what is my n, because the n will tell me exactly which figure number. Okay, so from here, I can simply do a simple calculation. Okay, I think you all have learned the basic simple algebra. So this is 1. So I bring over, I can minus 1. So 150. So in this case here, I have n minus 1. So it becomes 150 divided by 2. So it becomes 75. Okay. So my n will be 76. Okay. So therefore, I will know that figure 76 will have 151 white square. Okay. So this is how we get the answer. Now let's look at part B. I think a number of you all has also came in with the answer for part B just now. So let me show you the working. It asks you for the percentage of the square that are gray. What percentage of the square are gray in figure 40? Okay, in figure 40. So you're supposed to round off your answer. Now, in this case here, let's look at the pattern here. Now, I want to know the percentage of square that are gray, okay, in figure 40. So this gray part must be divided by the total number of square, right? Because we're talking about percentage. So I'm going to divide by the total. So can you see that in this pattern here, figure 2, I have a 2 by 2 square, right? Here, 2 small square and it's a 2 by 2, right? So figure 3 is a 3 by 3, figure 4 is a 4 by 4, and so on and so forth. So that means in the case of figure 40, okay, it must be 40 by 40, correct? But when it comes to the gray square, you will notice that figure 3 is a 2 by 2. Figure 4 is 3 by 3, right? And figure 5 is 4 by 4. Okay, here, right? 4 by 4, right? 4 square and by 4 square. So that means I will be able to know what is the number for figure 40, right? It has to be 1 less, mean 39 and 39. Okay, so the number of gray square, in this case here, the number of my gray square will be equal to, for figure 40, okay, it will be 39 multiplied by 39. Okay, so that will give you a number 1521. Okay, now how about the total number of square? Okay, the total square. Okay, so we notice that, right? For the whole entire figure, figure 5 will have 5 by 5, right? So figure 40 will be 40 by 40. So that will give me 1006. So in this case here, my percentage will be, okay, my percentage that I'm supposed to find, the percentage of gray square, okay, will be simply equal to just now what we get, 1521 over the 1006. You multiply by 100%. Okay, so this will give you a value of 95.06. Okay, 95.06%. Okay, so this is how we get the answer for part B. Can? Okay, is everyone okay with that? Yes, okay, correct. Yeah, many of you came in with the correct answer. Okay, good. Okay, well done. So you all are following well in terms of this question. Okay. Yes, we are going to finish the class quite soon. Okay, we just have one last question to go. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, if everyone is okay with this question, okay, I will move on to the last question. So anyone who need to take the screenshot, please do it now. Okay, I'm going to move on to the last question. Okay, now, all got it? Can your screenshot is okay? Okay, I'm going to move on to the last question. Now, this is the last question. Now, there are times whereby you will get a question that is what we call non-routine. Okay, that means it's not the usual kind of question. So I'm going to actually have prepared this question here to run through this with you. Okay, now let's read this question together and then we can try this out. Now, this person, Tyler, is actually packing some shoes and shirt into his suitcase. So you go for a holiday, right? So you will pack all these things into your suitcase. Now, the suitcase has enough space for 8 pairs of shoes or 15 shirts. Okay, that means if you fit everything in, maximum is 8 pair of shoes. Okay, but if you were to pack everything based on shirt, your maximum is 15 shirts. Now, if Tyler has already packed 3 pairs of shoes and 2 shirts already in this suitcase, now what is the maximum number of additional shirts that the person can fit into the suitcase? Okay, so that's the question. Okay, now what do you all think? Okay, everyone can give it a try, okay, and see how you can actually reason this out and work out the answer for this. Okay, now please do share your answer if you have had some answer with you. Okay, Ken, I think some of you has managed to work it out. Okay. Okay, I got yeah, many of you all give me the same answer. A small number give me a bit of a different answer. Yep. Okay, Ken. Okay, not bad. I think most of you all actually got it right based on those of you who responded. Okay. Now, for some of you all who some of you all are not very sure, you are thinking whether is that the answer. Okay, but for those of you who didn't quite get it or couldn't quite figure this out, okay, let me explain this last question with you. Now, this question here is tells you that this information, 6 pair or 15 shirt, okay, this information. Now, how do we make sense out of this? Now, this question means that the suitcase can, if it were to fit completely with 6 pair of shoe, or it can fit completely with 15 shirt. Now, this also means that my 6 pair of shoe has got the same capacity as my 15 shirt. So actually, you can consider this. That means my 6 pair of shoe, okay, is equivalent to my 15 shirt. Okay, because both can fit into the suitcase, okay, as the maximum number. So from here, I can tell that because the question asked is that there's already 3 pairs of shoe and 2 shirts already inside, right? So 3 pair of shoes. Then actually from here, I can see that this is 3 pair, this is 6 pair. Actually, it's quite convenient for me to then find actually, because I know the relationship between the pair of shoe and my shirt. Okay. So for this question here, it's important to establish that relationship. So once you know that relationship, you will know that in this case here, 3 pairs of shoe will be equivalent to, okay, 7.5 shirt. Okay, 7.5 shirt. Okay, because 6 pair is 15 shirts, so therefore 3 pair will be equivalent to 7.5. So in this case here, I can actually determine everything in terms of shirt. Okay, so from the relationship I established, I can just express in terms of one of the item. So in this case here, the space that is already, okay, already occupied, okay, already taken, for example, okay, is what? The 3 pair of shoe is my 7.5, and then plus another 2, right? The 2 that's already inside the suitcase. So that will give me a total of 9.5, okay? 9.5 shirt. So in this case, what is the maximum number? What is the additional? So the number of additional shirt will be equal to, okay, because maximum is actually 15 shirt, right? So in this case here, 9.5. So 9.5, you can't have half a shirt, right? So in this case here, if you add another, this is as good as treat it as about 10. So the max you can add is another 5 more. Okay, because maximum is 15, you minus away 10, you have 5 more. Okay, so the maximum you can add in is another 5 more shirt. Okay, so this is how you actually can actually think through this question. Okay, by using the information here to establish that relationship between the two items. Okay, then you can actually solve this. All right. So I hope that's clear. Okay, I think good. Many of you actually has managed to got this question correct, except for some, because I think some of y'all got 6 and some other answer. Okay, so it's okay. Okay, so I hope it's clear now, everyone. All right. So okay, so this is the last question. I'm going to let everyone take the screenshot for this last question. Okay, and I hope that's clear for everyone. All right. So if not, then I thank you very much for everyone's time to take part in tonight's webinar with me. And I hope everyone has learned something from this session. So thank you for the participation, and continue to follow our Telegram, okay? So we are going to have various things that will be coming up to help you to prepare for your this important last lap. Okay. So thank you very much, okay, everyone. So you can take your leave now, okay? So good night, and thank you everybody for joining us in this webinar. Okay. Yeah, thank you for the greeting. Thank you.